Many people using AI are just maintaining the great average of human thought and then pumping it out in industrial scale with bulletproof confidence and calling it competitive advantage. The tool doesn't care if your output is profound or paint by numbers. It's exactly like alcohol. It simply turns up the volume of whatever is inside you. If you're sharp, it makes you sharper. If you're not, it simply turns you into the loudest person in the room with perfect grammar. Have you ever been told about what you did the night before on stage and you can't remember? AI works the same way. Some people feed it mediocre input and then convince themselves they've discovered genius when the output comes back faster, smoother, and beautifully formatted. And it pats themselves on the back for the work they did. They didn't notice that it's average thinking in a sharp suit. And it's basically identical to the flood of similar output everyone else is producing from the same lazy prompt. Remember those few months when every second LinkedIn post was a ChatGPT caricature? That wasn't a thing. That was a bunch of people who'd raided the liquor cabinet, downed half a bottle of Jack, and then grabbed the microphone off the lead act at the local pub. While the rest of us are thinking, mate, your date is absolutely hammered and destroying karaoke night for the rest of us. It's a Fantasia ballroom scene, back when Disney still made proper movies. Mickey Mouse steals the sorcerer's hat, giving him infinite power at the tips of his little fingers. Does he pause to think about what he actually wants? Even Spider-Man knows with great power comes great responsibility. Yes, I know some of you are already fact-checking, and that line came from the first Spider-Man comic in 1962, and Fantasia was released in 1940. But as Doc Brown would say, you're not thinking about it fourth dimensionally. Hulk can restore half of all life with Infinity Stones, and a DeLorean can travel through time if it hits 88 miles an hour, so just go with it. Mickey doesn't think twice. He waves his arms like a drunk conductor, sets a broom off with a couple of buckets, and then heads off for a cheeky nap. The broom does exactly what it's told. It fills, and keeps filling, and filling, and filling. Mickey wakes up to a rising flood. In a panic, he grabs an axe and chops the broom into splinters, and every splinter grows into a new broom with buckets and keeps filling and filling and filling. They haul water, the water rises, and the room floods. Mickey's screaming. The brooms are working like perfect little employees. The tool worked flawlessly. The operator was the problem. It's like trying to use a chainsaw when you have no idea which end is the pointy, cutty one. It's going to get messy. And that's exactly how a lot of people are using ChatGPT today. Back in 1979, Steve Jobs walked into Xerox PARC. Same building, same pale, over-caffeinated nerds, same tech they've been looking at for years. Graphical interface, mouse, the whole future sitting there like a bored stripper, legs crossed, chewing gum, wondering why no one's doing anything interesting with her. In walks Steve Jobs and looks at this half-naked goddess of technology and says, "Hey, why don't you come back with me to Apple and we can have some fun?" Xerox looked and didn't compute. For Steve Jobs, it was all about a beautiful, seamless interface. Same room, same tool, completely different operating system between the ears. The difference wasn't access. It wasn't raw IQ. It was the quality of thinking you brought to the party. AI didn't close the gap. It widened it to the Grand Canyon. When everyone has the same magic wand, it's no longer the wand that matters. It's how you wield it. In AI terms, your thinking is the only variable left. Average thinking plus AI equals industrial quantities of...
That is one big pile of shit.
Yeah, that's a big pile of shit. If you're doing what everyone else is doing, you're just that smug bulk buyer caught up in the 2020 toilet paper mass hysteria, convinced you're being a strategic genius while filling your garage with enough dunny roll to last until 2035, only to watch the shelves get restocked 3 days later, while you're sitting on a warehouse full of arsewipe staring at every Jeff Goldblum life finds a way to overstock meme. Congrats, you didn't outsmart the shortage. You just turned your garage into a very expensive, long-term monument to mass hysteria. Unless 2-week-old chicken vindaloo becomes your meal of choice for the next 6 months. Stop chasing the next shiny tool. You've been doing that for years. How's that been working out for you? As is widely misattributed to Albert Einstein, doing the same thing and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. Which reminds me of another famous quote by Abraham Lincoln: "Don't trust everything you see on the internet." The people who succeed with AI are not hunting for a better wand. They're simply showing up with weirder, sharper, and more uncomfortable thinking. They're letting AI follow them somewhere genuinely new. When you do that, even those annoying little hallucinations, the over-eager donkey from Shrek moments where he wanders off script, stop being bugs and turn into rocket fuel for ideas you might never have reached. I wrote about this in my book. Not every idea is a truth outlier. Those freaky signals the data can't see yet. The ones the spreadsheet warriors sweat about because they can't validate with last quarter's numbers. Most AI use does the opposite. It scrapes the consensus, it polishes it nicely and hands it back to you like you've just invented fire, and tells you what a brilliant idea you had. Faster consensus is still consensus, it's just louder and more confident. Are you finding what everyone else is finding? Or did you bring enough weird, uncomfortable, original thinking to take the damn thing somewhere new? Because AI will reflect exactly where your brain points it, exactly there and nowhere else. If you do what everyone else does, the best you can hope for is an efficient kind of average. It's like driving a 1,000-lane highway where everyone's driving the same beige Toyota at the same speed, right next to each other, with a stupid grin on their face, like they posted some snappy comeback to a comment they received online a week ago. If you do what everyone else does, the best you can hope for is to be average. AI won't change that. And if you're ever in Latrobe City, do yourself a favour and head to Apex Park in Glengarry. And find Clover Jack, the fire red engine tractor with cartoon eyes and the cocky blue roll bar. He's been here for years, quietly encouraging every kid that sits on him to dream bigger, to play louder, to have fun without asking permission from 1,000 TikTok followers. The tool was always ready. That was never the problem. And remember, the quality of thinking you bring to AI determines everything.